climbing, still out of Erwin, Tennessee. And today's hike, my A goal is 16 and change to a shelter. If I can't make it, there's a tent site about 3 miles short of that. I would like to get to the shelter because that'll make a shorter hike tomorrow into the Nature's Inn hostel, where I'll be getting a resupply box. And I always need time to kind of sort that stuff out and figure out what else I might need or whatnot. These climbs, while not super technical, are still climbs. And I feel like I've been going uphill for miles and miles. I think there's a lot of that today. There's like a lot of climbs. It's going to be a tiring day. It's beautiful out again. This weather is perfect fall weather. Beautiful sunshine. Nice and cool in the woods. Perfect hiking weather, absolutely. Had a ball at Uncle Johnny's hostel last evening. Went out for some Mexican food with some trail friends. And we had to ride the shuttle, which were bicycles, and it was hilarious. At least they have a bike lane on the highway, which I appreciate, and it seemed like everybody, it was less than a mile from the hostel, and everybody seemed used to the bicyclists, unlike where I live, where there is no bike lane. All right, there hasn't been a ton to show so far today. Again, uneventful is not a bad thing out here. There's beautiful fall colors, as you can see behind me. I did get some shots of the Nolichucky River from up top. There's a little bright sunshine, so I'm not sure how good they'll come out. But man, it was pretty. We got a little fairy amusement park in this tree. It's now almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still climbing. Did have a couple downhills interspersed in there. This has been a challenging day. It's a beautiful day out here. Not a ton of views other than first thing this morning. I have about 3.8 or so miles to the shelter. And I noticed on the far out map, it's been ever since I crossed into Tennessee, it pretty much straddles. The trail goes back and forth between the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. I never really know where I am, except the one telling factor, as I've shared, is that there are no privies in the state of Tennessee. So I just noticed my target shelter for tonight has not only a privy, bear cables, and water. So clearly I am landing in North Carolina this evening. And that makes my A goal my one and only goal. I don't care how late I get into camp. I am going to that shelter because the bear cables alone make it safer, even though I do my best to hang my food properly. The privy, I don't know, I've gotten pretty used to doing the cat hole thing, which, by the way, you can do a cat hole count for yesterday when I woke up in Unica Forest. Ding, put it up there. Today I was at a hostel, so nothing to add today. Yeah, I was at 4.5 miles out. I'm hiking with 3 friends, Hambone, Yard Sale, and Turtle Toes. They're all ahead of me, as is usually the case. Hambone already got there when I was still 4.5 miles out and reported back the water is flowing, that the privy is good, meaning it's not super gross, it's usable, and the bear cables are functional, and I'm excited, and there's tons of tenting space. It's a beautiful night. I'm excited to be in my tent. So first I have to get there, and I gotta climb. My God, you would think this would get easier, and I'm sure if you had put me out here back in April, it would have been much harder. It's still freaking hard. This is hard, doing this every day. I gotta keep it up for 325 miles, something like that. I'm motivated to do it, I'm going to enjoy the journey along the way. I got to get her done. But first I got to make it to camp tonight. And before that, I got to just make it to the top of this hill. And before that, I got to just take one more step. That's how it's done. Oh, cool. I came around the corner. Whew, at the top of the hill, there's this giant ass boulder. Ooh, sorry. Giant boulder. And it's kind of cool. There really hasn't been much of interest on the trail today. It's been all switchbacks. But a lovely section hiker that just went by, Bookworm, informed me there were some views coming up here. And we shall see if that is true. He said it would all be worth it. I mean, I think it's always worth it. Oh man, it's beautiful up here, and I'm actually started to go downhill. I don't see any views. That's okay. I'll take it downhill. Gotta be really careful. The leaves are slippery, and there's rocks. Bad combo. Yeah, I don't know if you can see behind me. The forest is just beautiful. So much gold. I am going to be in the Smoky Mountains probably not till the middle or end of next week. I don't know if there's going to be any fall foliage left. You know what? I was talking about that today with some other hikers. And I've had so much beautiful foliage in the Roan Mountains, Roan Highlands. Every day out here, I remember starting my hike in Virginia and seeing just a couple red leaves. And every day I live outside, I get to see fall happening. I regret nothing. This has been incredible. And one could argue that if the leaves are off the trees by the time I get to the Smokies, I could have even better views than I may otherwise have. We shall see. I'm excited and nervous to get through there. There's all these rules and permits and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm going to deal with that on my next 0 day. But today, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my hike. Oh man, I'm on some flat. Must be up on a ridge line. This is my favorite kind of hiking, man. Ridge line with, just enough interest. But I'm not like dying like I have been for the past 6 hours. After all that climbing, I'm finally up on a ridge line. Look at this forest, you guys. Unbelievable. All the gold. It's so beautiful. It's so warm out. Blue skies. Just perfect. Absolute perfection right at this moment. Oh gosh, I love it out here when it's like this. I made it to Bald Mountain Shelter in North Carolina. There's bear cables. I'll be ready to do that once I'm done eating. Probably have to do it in the dark. Whew, that was a tough day. All right, guys. I will see you again tomorrow. Night, night.